Hey everyone, I'm your host Jacob Brightman, and welcome back to the Report Card. Each week, I invite an insider from Cromwell High School to discuss current hot topics in education. Then, wait till the end to see what grade CHS gets. On this week's episode, we'll be discussing careers, college, and life after high school, along with how well Cromwell High School prepares students for the future. Joining me today in the Soundbox podcast studio is a career connections teacher and a librarian, Miss B.
Hi, Jacob.
Before we dive into the college world, it's time to give you a taste for your own medicine. It's time for the pop quiz. First, how long have you been teaching at CHS?
This is my 9th year.
What's your all-time favorite book or series?
Oh, that's a big question. My favorite book, I would say, is Witch of Blackbird Pond, classic. If it's a series, this is a pop quiz. I think I would go, I was just talking about the other day with a couple students, just because of the concept of it, Hunger Games.
That's a good choice. Name one book that the movie adaptation failed to do justice.
Oh, there's so many. Well, recently, because I talk about it with my daughter all the time because she's a big Percy Jackson fan. But yeah, Percy Jackson did a terrible job in the originals.
Yeah. Who are you rooting for in March Madness?
UConn.
Yeah,
Nice. The
UConn
women's
Huskies.
still going. Yep.
What would your dream job be if you weren't a teacher?
Oh, where do you want me to begin on that one? Well, I know it kind of goes along with being a librarian, but I always wanted to own my own bookstore, like a children's bookstore, and like some old Victorian house that I could convert to, this space that kids would love to come to for like reading hour and just picking up books.
What's your go-to breakfast?
Oh, I'm definitely a yogurt with everything in it. The peanut butter to granola to bananas, blueberries, strawberries. Yeah, load it up.
Every single morning.
Every morning.
What college did you go to and what did you major in?
I went to Quinnipiac University and I majored in history and minored in psychology.
I'll give you 100 on this pop quiz. I think you did a pretty good job.
Thanks.
We'll continue after a quick word from our sponsor. Are you interested in investigating top stories around Cromwell High School? Perhaps you have a passion for photography, writing, or interviewing? Luckily, joining the CHS Newspaper Club is as easy as signing up to go to Mr. McGuff's room every other Friday during advisory. The Panther Press offers a great opportunity to gain journalistic experience and understand the world through a new lens, so see you there. From that last question, why did you choose to go to Quinnipiac?
So that was a difficult decision, obviously. I think it is with every senior in high school, even now, watching family members having to make this decision. But back then, it came down to really two schools for me. And I did have a focus on playing a sport. I was a soccer player, and getting offers to play at these universities was a pretty big deal. And making the decision to either go down south to Clemson or to stay up kind of close to home and play at Quinnipiac came down to a family situation that was going on at the time. And getting offered a little bit more money to stay closer to home. So I went with that choice, and I don't regret it one bit.
How was the process of choosing a major? Because I know you went to college for a sport, but how did you choose your major?
That was almost a little bit decided for me. I originally wanted to go to be an athletic trainer. That's something I internshipped all through high school doing with University of Hartford. Absolutely, that was the direction I wanted to go in. And I remember it vividly. It was probably the first week of college where you get there a little early because of training for a sport. And I got asked to come see the school counselor there, and they asked if there was any other major that I'd be interested in doing. And I had like 2 days to think about it because they were concerned with a Division I kind of schedule for playing. It would be a little too rigorous for that major. Now when I look back on it, I'm thinking, was that offensive or not? But so I had a couple days to think back to, what other area that I really had an interest in. And I've always done soccer camps. I've always worked with kids. I enjoyed teaching in a sense. So I thought back to those experiences, and I knew I loved history. I had an amazing history teacher in high school that helped me understand it in a different level. So I went in and I just picked history.
That's really assuring because I'm a sophomore and I still don't know what I want to do. And
Yeah.
you got in the first week of college, you were still figuring that out.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, right down
Yeah.
to the first week and making my schedule. Yeah.
Yeah. What would you suggest to students who like still don't know, even if they're a senior?
It's fine to even go in undecided, and getting all of those like gen ed classes done that first year if you need to, and then branch out, take a variety of things. I mean, look into business, communications, to finance, see what is drawing your attention, and what do you feel like you're going to be successful in. I think that's a great way to go in. I mean, how would anybody 100% know unless they've had that background already before, applying to schools?
The cost of college is also really high. Luckily for you, you had scholarships from your soccer.
Mm-hmm.
But according to UConn's own estimates, going there for 4 years would cost a Connecticut student around $160,000 and then up to $250,000 for out-of-state students.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you go to CCSU, which is pretty close by for here, it'd be over $100,000. How do you even comprehend that amount of money?
This is something that is actually hitting home pretty hard right now. I have a junior in high school that we are doing a lot of research on schools, and obviously financials are a top of the list. It's location and cost. Those are pretty much the only two things that we're looking at. And finding that there's not really middle ground, unfortunately. You either have the schools, such as CCSU or a state school like UConn, and you are really working hard to get your GPA up so you get merit or scholarship. Because, having that afterthought of the loans that you will have to pay off it's disheartening. It's a little deflating, too, for my daughter, because she knows that if she's looking at schools that are in the $70,000 to $80,000 range, I mean, that's a big difference than looking at schools that are in the 30s or 40s. I don't know any other way around it besides if you had saved since they were even before birth. It's almost to the point where it's impossible, and they're going to have loans no matter what.
And this is why many Ivy League schools like Harvard is offering free tuition for families making less than $200,000.
Yeah.
But the chance getting into Harvard is extremely low.
Yeah, 4%, if that.
Yeah. Can you speak about the senior last year that went? Because I know she got really lucky there.
Yeah. I know. She definitely did. But, I mean, the finances were still a decision for her. I know not much support was given. And thinking of the status of the school, I think that kind of trumped everything else. I mean, that was something that she was looking for, and she went for it. Yeah.
Let's talk about scholarships. You can get athletic scholarships, academic scholarships, or even like a part-time job to help you pay.
Mm-hmm.
For you, what was best, and what would you advise the students?
Well, being fortunate enough to be offered an athletic scholarship is rare. I mean, not every student really kind of gets that opportunity. But filling out even as many as you can for your local businesses, your school ones. Even I was awarded for like the Elks Club. That was a scholarship that I also got that provided a few $1,000s per year for me. So that was very helpful. Academically, this is where you really need to start early, because the GPA is a huge factor in what you're going to get from these schools. So besides just the athletic scholarship or filling out for scholarships, it's the academic part. You have to go in strong. And I know with test scores, too, from SATs, that's going to be another factor for a lot of kids coming up in the next few years. So if you can get your scores up, it's going to be helpful, very helpful.
Yeah, the pressure's really high there.
Yeah, it is. I know. That's the thing. GPA and test scores are going to be a big factor in the future.
Let's backtrack. Before you go to school, you have to be accepted. Mm-hmm. From your view, how has it been with this year's seniors and them committing to colleges?
Having talked to a lot of them, I feel like there's a big discrepancy. Some kids knew right away. They were like, absolutely, this is where I want to go. And I've seen a lot of kids still to this point, about a month out from having to make a decision, less than a month now, and they're still have no clue. Like, they don't know what they want to do or where to go. It seems to be a tough one this year, definitely a tough one. And I think, again, there's a lot of factors into it. Again, location and finances, and it's a big part of the decision-making process.
When you went to Quinnipiac, how was the application process, and how has that changed since then?
Oh, yeah, it's changed a lot. I mean, it was on paper.
Wow.
You had to write everything out. And, like, when you wrote an essay for it, you had to write another one for another school and another one for another school. It's not like you can just copy and paste it. And everything was paper, and you mailed it in. And you got that letter back however many months later, with the official congratulations or not. And it was all through the snail mail, as they call it. No email back then for that. So, and if you communicated with coaches or with admissions officers, it was all phone calls.
Oh, it's very different since then. Now
Is.
it's all online.
All online, all email, portals. It's so different.
Yeah. I know we're talking all about college, but do you need to go to college to be successful?
Oh.
Do you know students that have been successful without going to college?
Yeah, no. I mean, going into a trade field, it's so beneficial for so many people nowadays. I mean, that is a needed area. Even going to community colleges, I know, is very, very popular thing right now because of the cost of it, which is free for many of our students. And I know still there's academic factors that go into that, but taking advantage of like a skill is probably like the kind of hidden gem that a lot of students don't know about. And I think they fear with the status of they have to go to school and that pressure that they're under from family or friends or just the environment around them, social media. But it kind of going into a needed field is very beneficial for our community and for them. Yeah,
it's great that our school offers a lot of classes in those specific fields. What classes do you know about that students could take if they want to go into something else that isn't necessarily college?
I know a lot of the like the career technical education courses. Those are the courses that you can take that will get you into a specific, manufacturing to woodworking, even electrical can help you with beginning stages of that. So I think those are the courses that would really kind of send you in the right direction.
Can you speak about the Career Pathways program at CHS and like how you've had various speakers come in and talk to us during advisories?
Yeah, we've just this year we've started the, kind of introducing of multiple different careers that students can kind of get a sense of what they are. We've had from medical field to manufacturing to broadcasting to it's been a variety. We've had quite a few come in. And it's nice to see that students are signing up for it so that way they can get that backing and say, oh, this seems interesting. We just had recently a prosecutor come in, and that was fascinating. And many kids actually reached out and contacted this person, after the fact to, shadow for the day, ask other questions that weren't answered at the speaker series. But we think that it's been beneficial for the students to see just a variety of things that are out there and to do it now instead of when they're applying to schools and they're not quite sure what they want to go into. I think that exposure is beneficial for them now.
That exposure is great, especially when you're in the younger years of high school.
Yeah. Yep.
And since you teach freshmen, what skills do you hope to teach in that class that could help them in the future?
Kind of the work ethic. I think that's a big one that could apply to anything. Stressing the importance of deadlines, communication, if things, either via email or presentations, and sticking through with something. And just being able to apply that to not only academics, but if they're involved in athletics or clubs or, some kind of field that they're interested in already, that they're pursuing it more.
And here's a quick word from our sponsor. Hey everyone, think you're up to date on Cromwell High School's top stories? Think again. Do you really know what's going on in the news? I bet you don't. Good thing the Panther Press is in the library. Head there to check out the CHS newspaper's latest April edition so you get students' take on recent school events and worldwide events. Additionally, challenge yourself with a crossword puzzle, unscramble some words, and laugh at the comic. Whether you're an avid reader or you've only used a newspaper to protect the table while painting, don't miss your chance to pick up a copy of the Panther Press. Support our talented writers and educate yourself about what is happening in Cromwell High School and the wider world. Again, don't forget to get your hands on the brand new 9th edition found in the library. To wrap things up, let's give CHS a grade based on how we prepare students for careers, college, and life beyond high school. Not just in overcoming the challenges, but also in embracing the opportunities the world offers. On a scale from an F to an A, where would you place our school?
I think in an honest answer, in the way that we've moved forward this year and kind of taken the initiative to expose these students to more and more of what's out there, I would give us a solid A. Yeah, I think we're doing a really good job with that right now, and hopefully we can sustain it for the future so other students have that opportunity too.
Yeah, I agree. I'm excited to see where it goes.
Yeah, me too.
Thanks for listening to the report card. Make sure to tune in next week as we discuss school fundraisers. Remember, You can stay up to date by subscribing to CHS Soundbox on YouTube. See you next time.